Hello again, everyone. I'm here with you now to talk a little bit about Google Classroom. And I put the title, Google Classroom is my friend. So what I'm going to do right now is walk you through many of the steps associated with our Google Classroom. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my cursor and I'm going to move it to the upper right hand corner of the screen between the grid, or to the left of the grid, and my face. And when I click on that, it's going to give me the option of joining a class or creating a class. So I'm going to create a class right here. And I'm going to name the class Distance Learning. And I'm going to call this our practice session. And it's online. Oops. Online. We'll call it that. And then I take the cursor, and in the lower right hand corner it says crear, in Spanish, create. As we wait for it to load, I'll be going through a number of things that we can do here on Google Classroom. The first thing, it came right up to this one because it was new. I'm going to go back to classes. See this menu here, when we click on it, it gives us all of our classes listed on the left hand side, or we can pick on a particular one, and I'm picking on Distance Learning, the practice. Okay, now as you see across the top, we have tablón, trabajo de clase, personas, calificaciones. The first thing I want to do for you today is with personas, is add students. Now the way we do this is we click on this invite button, the little icon here on the right hand side that shows us the little person, and we add students' names or their emails. If I were to invite, say, Santiago Suarez, who's a student of mine, as soon as I start to write Santi, it populates below here and gives me their names. Hey, I'm not going to invite him, but this is how you do it. I could invite Emilio Gonzalez, who's also a student of mine, and etc. How about Sandra? There's Sandra Paula. She's a student of mine, but I'm not going to be inviting those. And if you keep typing them in, you can fill up your whole class roster, and you can invite them right at the end rather than doing them one by one. But I'm going to cancel that. We're not going to have any students there. Now I'm going to go I'm going to go up here to the middle and go to classwork, trabajo de clase, and you can see here there's no work scheduled. I have access to the Google Calendar and the folder in Drive for this class. There's now been a folder made for this class, which is in my Google Drive, and I click on create, and I can create any number of things. And the first thing I'm going to create here is a theme, and this would be a topic in English, but I'm going to create a theme. And what do I want to call this theme? Let's call this theme presentations. So I've created a theme that's now called presentations, and it'll appear here, and it's a section that's divided. And then the next thing I want to do is I want to add an assignment, and the word for assignment is tarea, right? It can be translated as homework or assignment or task. And by creating this task, I would call this, I'm going to use the one 10 best practices for speaking online. And I'm going to add the theme. You can see over here as I move over to the right, on the right hand side down in the bottom, it says no theme, ningún tema, but I have created a theme, and I'm going to add that as a presentation. And I want to add the presentation that I've used in my other videos, and I can add that by clicking on the word add, or añadir, and I can add this from any number of places. I can add something from my Google Drive, from a link, from a file that's stored on my computer, or from YouTube. And when I go to the Google Drive, you will see the presentation. This is it, the 10 best practices. I'm going to highlight it, and then I'm going to click add. Okay. Now if I add again, I could add the YouTube video. I could call this 10 best practices. I wonder if my video is actually viewable to the public. As I'm looking down, I don't see it. It's not there, the one that I made. So I'm going to click out of this and I'm going to go, I'll leave it. I'm not going to do that right now. And I'm going to allow the students, you have the option of giving the students, everybody, a copy of this presentation that they can edit it or they can see it. Let's just let them see it. And something that's very, very important for us to do is to give a date to it. Let's say it's due tomorrow on Wednesday. Okay, and it's for all the students. How many points do you want to make it worth? You can make it worth any number of points. You can make it with no points, or you can make it with 100 points. Let's just put 10 to make it easy. Okay? You can also add a rubric here, Guía de Evaluación. You can add this. You could create one or reuse one or import one from Google Sheets. Right? And what I want to do, I'm going to create this. I can either save my file as a draft, or I can create the homework assignment, or I can set a date for it. You can create the assignment, set a date for it, or set it as a draft, and you're not ready to publish it yet. But let's program the time. Let's say it's due tomorrow at 8 a.m. And that way, at 8 o'clock, the students would get it. Okay? So now we've gone through creating the class, adding students, adding a theme, adding an attachment from Drive, and I was looking at adding a video. So right now I'm going to jump up here and go to my other video account. I'm going to change my account here. It doesn't want to let me. You can see in my videos, I can load this up, and we're not going to listen to that, but I'm going to copy that link. And as I go back into my assignment, I can edit this, and I can add that link. Oops. There it is. Okay. And it's all ready to go. Okay? Right. And it's still set for tomorrow. Now moving forward, I'm going to add now a new topic here that I'm going to call attendance. And what I'd like to show you now is how to take attendance with your Google Classroom. And this is very interesting. There's a very interesting thing you can do. So what you can do here is you can add a question, and the question is attendance, right, for Tuesday, April 8. And the question will be, are you online today? And it's in attendance. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say I want a multiple choice question, and I'm going to add the answer yes. Right? And this is distance learning, all students. I'm going to put it in the attendance category, and everybody will be able to see this. You don't need to put no in here because nobody's jumping online to say no. So I will set this. There's no grade associated with this question. And I will also set this for tomorrow, April 8th. I want to set this up for tomorrow at April 8th. So it's now, they're not going to see this. They can't go online and answer this question now. It will be, I'm actually going to go back in and I want to edit this because I want to show them we can set a time for this as well. So I'm going to set this for 8 o'clock because I want them in there at 8 o'clock, right? There we go. Now you'll be able to see that this attendance question is due, will be set for tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Okay, that's a great way to take attendance online in your classes, make sure that they sign in and set up their attendance. Now another thing that we can do, we don't have any people in here. Maybe I guess I could add someone, but I don't want to. No, I think we won't be sending emails to everybody today. So there's a couple things for Google Classroom. The classwork is set, presentations, you can create topics, you can create a question, use the question as an attendance, you can create materials. These are all kinds of little things that you can do with Google Classroom.